On this episode of The Negative Nomad, we are going to the capital of the Lone Star State.
What's the capital of Texas?
Austin.
Wrong, Carmi. It's Houston.
That's right, Austin, Texas. I'm going to see what this town is all about. Austin is famous for its music, its barbecue, its growing technology sector, and just a whole bunch of weird. My first stop is here at the Congress Avenue Bridge. I got here late in the evening, and it was close to my hotel at the Austin Hyatt. I thought I'd check it out since it was well within walking distance. If you want to come check out the largest urban bat colony, you can line up along the top of the bridge, have a seat in the grass beneath the bridge, rent a boat, or book a river tour. All of these spots are going to get crowded during peak season in July. Either spot is nice, as each offer a different perspective, as the bats leave their roost to feed every night. I'm here in late March, so it's not nearly as many bats as are normally going to be here, like in July when they're like over 1 million of these little boogers. But even in early March, it's pretty neat. I'm not sure which is the better spot, up here on the bridge or down on the hill below. It's pretty neat. I mean, you're seeing several thousand bats just come flying out of their roost. I can only imagine what it's like in July when there's 1 million or more. For our next stop, we drove to the town of Driftwood, which is just south of Austin, for our first taste of Texas barbecue. And we're going to the famous Salt Lake BBQ. I'm going to start off saying I fell in love with the place from the very moment I pulled into the parking lot. The restaurant setting was just like your everyday backyard barbecue. Let me say this, of the barbecue joints we ate at, Salt Lake was the best, in my opinion. And what made them the best? The customer service. When you arrive, they walk you to your table and you'll pass by that famous open pit you've seen in all the videos. The hostess pointed it out to me and basically invited me into the kitchen to film the pit, which was nice. And that, my friend, is customer service. And now, let's get to the food. Alright, so we got us some ribs, brisket, comes with potato salad, baked beans, and coleslaw, which I'm anxious to taste all three. First up, potato salad. Very crumbly. Very different than what I would think potato salad is. It's not bad though. Coleslaw. It's really good. We go to the beans. Beans are cold. It's alright though. For the ribs, pretty tasty. I like them. They're good. And lastly, for our brisket, that's a really good flavor. It tastes really nice. Very good. So for our first barbecue joint, Salt Lake is pretty good. I recommend it for sure. That coleslaw though, whew. Wow, that's good stuff. All right. Typically when people make pecan pies, they put way too much sugar in it, and they didn't do that. Excellent. Whew, that's good. On your way out, you'll pass through the gift shop where you can pick up some merchandise. For all you shoppers, South Congress Avenue is the trendy place in town to do your shopping. They have a little bit of everything, and if you're looking for a shop that's a little bit on the weird side, you should check out Monkey See, Monkey Do. It was my favorite. If you're trying to save some money, check out the Texas State Capitol. It's free. I found this place to be quite interesting because it resembles the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Now, much like my home state, I was free to walk around in most areas. I even was able to walk into the house side of the Capitol with no problems. Outside there's more to see, what appears to be an inverted dome. They have a replica of the Statue of Liberty. Nothing like the real one in New York or France, but it's neat nonetheless. Lots of memorials, like this one for the Vietnam War. And the Law Enforcement Memorial. But my favorite was the Tejano Monument, which represents some of the history of Texas. A quick word about my accommodations. I stayed at the Austin Hyatt, located right on the banks of the Colorado River, with a spectacular view of the city skyline. But the most impressive view was the bum village across the river. Nothing like waking up and seeing a sea of blue tarps, tents, and street urchins.
You're living in a van down by the river!
But to be fair, the hotel was nice and it appeared to be safe. But once you leave the hotel and walk across the river, be prepared for the smell of urine, malt liquor, and perhaps some lady garments hanging in the trees.
I'm sick and tired of living in a van down by the river!
Continuing on our parade of bums, I'm headed downtown to see more of the weird that Austin is famous for. And I'm going to the Museum of the Weird. Now, I'm not going to say a whole lot about this place because I made a standalone video that's already been posted. So see that video for a detailed review. I'll just say this place isn't for everyone if you can't turn off the critical switch in your head. And if you can't, it's probably not for you. Now, for one of the biggest reasons I came to Austin and it's Franklin's BBQ, and let me tell you, the expectations were pretty high. First off, the dining area was closed due to COVID, and orders had to be placed weeks in advance on their website because it was pickup only, and the demand was pretty high.
So we come back to the hotel. We got some potato salad, some coleslaw. This is some condiments. It's just pickles, onions. That's pretty much it. Pies, pecan, and what is this? The Ruby's Dane pie. They look really good, actually. Really good. It comes with 3 different kinds of sauces. Not sure what that is. We got 2 pounds of pulled pork. Looks delicious. And then over here we have, I got a pound of ribs and 2 pounds of brisket.
All right, so let's give us a try. We're gonna start off with the coleslaw. Not bad. I like the Salt Lake a little bit better, but it's not bad. Potato salad, looks good. You can tell they went heavy on the mustard. You can definitely tell the taste is a little heavy on the mustard. It's all right. No, not my favorite, but it's okay. The pulled pork. Oh man, it smells smoky. Very tender.
Change it up real quick. Going number 2, going to the ribs. Oh yeah, look at that. Very moist. I'm right off the bone. You definitely pick up on all the pepper they put on there. Heavy pepper flavor. Going to our brisket. Not as pretty as it. I've seen it. It definitely melts in your mouth. Very tender. Wow. Not too smoky. Just right. Just right. Give me another piece of that. I can tell you this. Texas has got the barbecue game down to a T. Woo. Man. I just wish it wasn't an 8-hour drive to get here. All right, let's tell you about the sauces. Okay, first one, which was my favorite. This is the pork barbecue sauce. It is very similar to just the regular barbecue sauce. I mean, it's just a smidge difference, but I like the pork a little bit better. But both are good. And in this horrible blackness, espresso infused barbecue sauce, I don't know what they were thinking when they made this stuff. It's pretty revolting, but hey, they're selling it, so undoubtedly some other people like it, just not this person. I'm in a serious meat-induced coma. Oh, Lord Jesus, I have eaten way too much barbecue.
As we traverse the city and its endless sea of tweakers and meth heads, it's time to check out the other thing Austin is famous for, and it's the food truck industry. There's a food truck for every type of food imaginable, and even for your pets.
Yeah, Austin has to be like the food truck capital of the world. They're everywhere. All right, so we come to the Canoni Gelato food truck, and it's been a trial in stupidity and incompetency. So I wanted a chocolate shake. Well, can't get a chocolate shake because they don't start making those till next week. So I had to settle for just regular chocolate gelato in a cup. That's all right. It happens. Well, we also want to get a root beer float, but they also had a root beer. All right, so we go to pay. Oh, hey, by the way, can you pay with a card? We don't have enough cash. Jesus Christ, is it that difficult to run a damn food truck? I'm surprised we got napkins.
My trip here was only 3 days, so I didn't get a chance to see as much of Austin as I would have liked to have seen. I can tell you that the barbecue experience lived up to the hype, and I wish I could have tried more. Austin is about as liberal a town as you'll find on the east or west coast, especially when you see the homeless population that rivals most cities. Which coincidentally, Austin passed some ordinances after our trip to try and rid the city streets of some of the dregs of society. Would I advise you to come to Austin? Yes. It's a very unique town for the South, and for Texas for that matter. Come for the barbecue, the music, the crime-infested 6th Street, and leave before you catch a bad case of TB or dysentery.